The results ended up with over 8.8 million Swiss francs, setting a little over 80% in terms of lots, and in terms of value was about 135%. I think the market has proved to be resilient once again, and if you want to consider that over the weekend almost $50 million was traded of watches, with all the different auction houses averaging over 80%, I think the market is very strong right now. The results were stronger than most people would have anticipated through this season. I think the major tendency is that estimates have to be conservative, probably more conservative than they've ever been, even if the final prices are still equivalent to what they used to be. And the second thing is the quality is becoming more and more important. There's no more room. I think our Chinese customers, which probably represents about 40 to 50% of the business today, have become much more educated, meaning that there's only room now almost for very high quality or the best. In the end, it was the perfect, watch to bring at auction. Unknown in general literature, only 6 pieces known to the market. One of the only 2 with a gas escape valve. Prototype dial, prototype case. As soon as the catalog came out, we had lots of interest from all the major sports watch collectors, and the 80 to 120,000 transformed itself into almost 500,000 with a premium, which obviously world record for Rolex. Rare pieces always these days still bring prices that surprise everyone. Very strong price. Obviously, the estimate was very low. You also have to remember that today retail for that piece in the stores is about 300,000 Swiss francs. I think 297, something like that. The estimate was 60 to 90. We knew we were going to get there. But in the end, selling for almost a little over 210,000 Swiss francs for the premium, it was a very good performance for Audemars Piguet, showing that there is an interest for very specific, well-developed timepieces such as this one. It was a shot in the dark in a sense, we wanted to see whether, there was still a true market out there for Swatch, and, if you look at the result, I guess the answer is no, not really. I think unless you really find something that's truly amazing, the market is probably not interested anymore in those kind of pieces. I think it's part of history of the watches, and I think they definitely have their place into the history of watchmaking in general, but the amateurs really collecting that, I think there's maybe a few left in the world, and that's about it. Even if they're milestones, people are still more focused right now on probably the quality of the movement or the collectability versus what was maybe collectible 10, 15, 20 years ago.